Just making some coffee, you guys. Be there in a moment. Okay. Oh, jeez. Hold your horses. We're gonna be there in a second, okay? Just calm down, okay? Just calm down. I'm looking at you, chat. Stop spamming. I'll be there in a minute, okay? Just calm down. Calm yourselves. Have some decorum. This is chess. Coffee. Coffee. Yes. 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 almost ready. Monsters speak in the dark, cowering in fear, as our beacon in the light shines. She will not stand for evil. She will get up and fight, and continue to do so. There is no meaning. There is no end. Only justice. And she is live. 3, 2, 1. Welcome Rebecca Lauren to the stage. Oh, you're too kind, okay? Like, wow. You know, such an amazing introduction. I can't even, okay? Like, this is amazing. That somebody would go to the lengths to introduce me, you know, as a beacon of light against evil, okay? Like, you know, I'm just doing my best, okay? It's all in a day's work, okay? You know, just drinking coffee and playing chess. Okay, like literally all we're doing, okay? Like, that's like literally all we're doing. We're sitting down at our computer and playing chess, okay? Like, you know, like, I appreciate the swooning. Prepper Parman. Oh, thanks for the sub, Sophie. Oh my god, thank you. Welcome to the team. You know, we're here and we're gonna assemble, you know, Rebecca team assemble. You know, I wish I had more perks for you as a sub, but we're not quite there yet in our channel journey, okay? Like, I'm gonna be real with you, okay? Like, there's like, you get some emotes, okay? Which I actually need to change at some point, because the emotes are all chess pieces and they're color-coded, which obviously isn't too big of a deal right now, but I'm thinking about the future, and if I'm gonna be playing in like chess tournaments on stream, and like, you know, I have to go in emote only mode and stuff like that, people could potentially cheat with that. And obviously, you know, I'm kind of shooting myself in the foot saying that, but the thing is, it's like, you know, I would need to change the emotes by then. I don't have an amazing team of people to form together emotes, so we kind of have to be like Voltron. And we have to come together and create this like giant amalgamation of chess and Twitch and YouTube and Twitter and TikTok and all sorts of all these things, and Reddit. You know, Reddit, you know, Reddit's not about me, Reddit's about you. So we're not there yet, okay? Like, Reddit is far off in the horizons, okay? Like there, we're searching for land. All I see are dick butts. Oh, well, that's Reddit. Okay, let's go, Reddit. Twitch talk, okay? Like, get with the times, okay? Get with the times, man. We're in this day and age where you have to be like Twitch, Twitter, Talk, Tube, it. And then you also have to be on some random underground forum that nobody's heard of, okay? Like, that's a requirement, okay? Like, you have to be on like some random, like, deep dive of a forum, you know, that nobody knows about, that only hardcore gamers and hardcore fans go to. And it's like, you actually have to go through like a vetting process. So there's actually like a forum that's like a forum, quote unquote, but it's like the mods like see who actually gets to join the club by watching what people do here, and they're like, hey, we're gonna pull you into the real forum. But little did you know, that forum is also a testing forum, and then they're gonna pull you into this other real forum, and that one's a test. The mods think they're in control, but really there's other mods in charge of those mods. And then where does it end? Where does it end? Am I even the top level? Who's above me? Who watches the watchers? What is going on? But we're gonna be playing some chess. Okay. So, needless to say, we're not worried about that. We're just gonna play some chess. Okay, so I hope you're all having a good time. Okay, like this is okay. Like you've already seen the best content. You could tune out now. I'm just kidding. Don't go. No, I mean seriously. Like I wish I was better at being a streamer the entire stream. It's like I usually like have like my best content right at the beginning, and then, but you know we're trying to change that. Okay, like I'm trying to figure it out like a new balance where it's like I can just like keep making good content instead of being a loser. But yeah, this is Blitz Tactics. It's a side project of Lichess. This is the normal raiding mode. I prefer doing tactics on Blitz Tactics because they have other modes like infinite mode where you can select either easy, medium, difficult, or insane difficulty level puzzles. What I do is I do my current rating. Right now I'm 2034 rating on Blitz Tactics, which it uses all the puzzles from Lichess. But as you go, it gets stronger or weaker. Obviously, how rating works. But there's also an infinite mode where you can select easy modes, and I like doing that as well because I like doing lower difficulty puzzles, but en masse, like do 50 or 100 of them. There's also, like a, a combo mode where you only have like 3 minutes, but you get more time if you keep making them right. And after 3, you get booted and all that kind of stuff. There's all these different modes on Blitz Tactics, so it's pretty cool. I like it. So let's see. Please excuse me while I do tactics, okay? Like, I need to do my tactics, and obviously I'm not as focused on stream, but that's not quite what I'm worried about. I'm just trying to do my tactics, and, it's important for me to get back to streaming. Like, I was in a place where I wasn't really streaming. I was just playing my video game and doing tactics off stream, and, it's like, what am I doing? Like why am I not streaming anymore? Like I've been streaming since July of 2019, and it's been quite a journey since September, around mid-September when I started my transition, and we've been transitioning like, it's not just me, it's me and my doctors and my therapist, but it's also you guys here on Twitch. Like, you guys have been a huge part of my transition, and I don't know where I would be without Twitch right now. Like, honestly, like, who knows where Twitch can take me in the future. I really hope that, we can just keep having upward projection with whatever we can create online, some kind of career. Who knows? But in either case, like, I think it's evolving. It's constantly evolving, and right now I really feel like Twitch is like, it's like an extension of myself, and it always will be. But like that can change, and it should change because life changes as we go. Yeah, supportive friends is a wonderful kind of magic. I have my people in my personal life. that support me, but you know, they all have their own lives, and COVID is preventing a lot of time with my friends, and they don't really do online stuff. They do stuff. They don't do voice chat. Like my friends don't do like they're not Twitch viewers, you know, like that. So it's like I'm the Twitch person of the friend group. You know what I mean? Like I'm the one that watches Twitch. I am the one who knocks. But no, like I hope you know what I mean. Like, you know, anybody who watches Twitch, you know, like we understand that, like we understand the community. It's not just about watching content, it's also about supporting our favorite streamers. I support, you know, my favorite streamers and stuff like that. And my friends don't really understand that. They don't understand Twitch. They don't really understand all this. They watch YouTube, but like they're kind of like, you know, just the normal kind of YouTube watchers. They're not like in it. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's good to have a support team on Twitch, even though, you know, it's not about numbers. You know, that even you right here, you're here right now, Sophie and Prepper. Like that right there is more than I've ever had, you know, online. And I can only hope that we grow as time goes on. And I know it's difficult to, like, you know, set expectations, and it's difficult to see projections, but you know, I really do have faith in myself, and not just me, but all the people who stick around, because there's a lot of people who come in here, they've only seen like one video of me, and they get really, you know, they judge me. And also being trans doesn't help, but I really hope that I can be a part of that positive change. Because, you know, like, let's face it, I'm a weirdo, okay? But, you know, that shouldn't take away from who I am, and it shouldn't make people judge me, judge other trans people just because I'm weird, because we should be treated just like everyone else, which means sometimes we're weirdos, okay? Like that, you know, sometimes people are mean, sometimes people are drug addicts, like sometimes people like do bad things, like, you know, like being trans doesn't change that. Like, I'm a human being. I'm allowed to be weird, okay? Like, I shouldn't have to put this impossible standard where I have to be this perfect person, this perfect poster child for trans people, because if people see me and they see me acting weird, they're gonna judge all trans people. It's like, screw that. You know, like that's not equality. That's like, oh, look at me, I'm special, you better treat me differently. Like, and that's what our enemies think. They think that that's what we're doing, and they're the ones imposing that. They're really the ones that are like imposing all these weird ideas about, like, oh, you know, blue-haired social justice warrior. Like that's those right-wing people. Those like, I don't want to say right-wing people. I want to say like conservatives. Yeah, I'm trans. I'm insane. Who am I to judge anyone? The day I wake up and I'm perfect? Yeah, I mean, well, I am perfect, so... you know, that's the end of that discussion. You know, because I'm perfect. Yeah, I don't... Yeah, that's the only thing I could see. No. Okay, so this is the first move. Probably ruin... Okay, never mind. It didn't ruin anything. Okay, let's see. The bishops are here. Oh, can I attack this bishop? Yeah, there we go. I have no idea why I didn't see that. Well, this one's easy. That's a main one, no matter how you slice it. Well, not no matter how you slice it. I mean, there were wrong moves. Like... I entertain myself. You know, in the end of the day, like, regardless of whether other people think I'm funny or whatever, I think I'm funny. Okay, like, call me an idiot. You know, people have made fun of me my entire life. They're like, why do you laugh at your own jokes? You're stupid. And I'm like, okay, well, at least I'm not calling people stupid just for trying to enjoy life, you know, like, like, you know, like, I feel like that's worse than what I'm doing, which is just enjoying life and trying to make the best out of, you know, sometimes really bad situations. Like, yeah, you know, I think, you know, obviously, oh, thanks for the follow, Get That Wap. I don't know what that name, that's, get the. By the way, is my audio okay? I have to have the obligatory technical questions, because, you know, I'm never quite sure about the quality of my audio and stuff, so if anything's too loud, if anything's peaking, if anything is bothering your headphone ears, just let me know. I can try to fix it. It's like, we're here together, okay? Like, this isn't, I'm not perfect. Okay, like, I'm not some kind of, like, top tier streamer. Sounds clear over here. Yeah, okay, good. I'm always trying to look to improve my audio. Like, I only have, like, a $40 mic and, like, a $40 webcam, and, you know, I don't have the best quality setup. I don't have the best, you know, I don't have the best, acoustics. You know, I'm in my room, and it's a tiny room with a lot of, like, soft material, so there's really not anything for, like, I mean, I guess that's sound insulation, so we don't get crazy, like, reverberation or anything, like, from the walls, but, like, you know, it's a very small room, and, it, you know, we could have better acoustics, we could have better equipment. Obviously, you know, I don't want to spend thousands of dollars right now. I don't have that kind of money, okay, like, I think it's fine right now. You know, all you really need is, like, a freaking $5 webcam and a $5 mic. You know, and a computer that's like, you know, Windows 98, you know. I mean, because, like, in the end of the day, the stream is about the streamer, not the content, because you'll see some people who have, like, you know, they're great at streaming, but, like, you know, they're like me, where it's like, I've been told that, like, you know, I'm not necessarily a bad streamer. It's just, it's really hard to get clout, and it's really hard to get people to notice you. And also, it's like, you know, like, people are here because of you. They're not here because of you know, they're here for your unique perspective and the kind of content that you create, not necessarily the game you're playing. And yeah, chess is a great game. We all play chess. Anybody can appreciate chess. Anybody could be looking at these puzzles and say, okay, well, I'm going to try to solve those along with, you know, the streamer. But, like, you know, it's, in the end of the day, like, you know, anybody could just load up chess on their computer. They're not here for the chess necessarily. You know, sometimes people are here for, like, the you know, the banter, and you know, hopefully at some point we can have more guests on stream. I try to be selective with guests. I've had random viewers come on stream before. It's had disastrous outcomes. People saying the N-word, and I'm like, whoa, like, you know, stuff like that. You know, there needs to be a certain amount of trust, okay? The music stop. Let me put this in a new window, by the way. Okay. So that we don't screw up the stream anymore. Okay. Okay, the rooks are here, queen's here. I have 2 rooks and a queen. This is why, you know, like, it's good to do the harder puzzles, because I'm more around my rating now. Like, this is like the 2000 rating puzzles. So it's like these are a bit harder to do, and it's good to push my ability. But after a few of these, I like to do like maybe 3 or 4 of these, and then I switch to the easy ones and just spam those. I think that's usually because I don't want to constantly be straining my tactics. I think I need to like stress and then release, stress and then release. Like, I don't want to stress all the time, because you need to have that release. Oh, that's sweet release. It's not that kind of stream, you guys. I'm having too much fun. You know, it's like, it's really just, you know, it's like, that's what it's all about. You know, like, it's one thing to be like hyper focused on the chess tactics, and yeah, you know, like I think there is something. Obviously, I do tactics off stream, and I do chess off stream. And there, obviously, you need to be able to focus 100%, but I also think there's something to say about streaming and just chatting with people. Like, that does something for your chess as well. It's different, and obviously only doing that would not be that great for your chess. But I really do think that streaming does something really special for your chess. That... Well, not just streaming, well, just, you know, in the past, it's like when you go to the coffee shop or to the bar and you play chess with people. Like, you know, it's this casual social aspect to chess that, like, I don't think many people really give it the credit that it deserves, because I really don't think you can be a very great chess player without that. Because you need to, because, you know, it's one thing to only be going to tournaments and only being focused, but you need to have that ability to just relax. Because, like, if you're always tense all the time, you don't even have one glowing neon thing in your background. How fake. Oh god. There's always some streamer with some glowing neon thing. Right? Like I need the equipment. I need the lights in the background. I need like the changing colors. I need to have it attached to the Twitch chat so that people could actually like you know, throw bits to change the colors. You know, like a real streamer, okay? Like oh god, we're having way too much fun today. You know, I'm gonna be serious. Okay, like, what's wrong with my setup? Like, usually I've been able to show Olivia over there. And you see the octopus, that's Olivia. Okay, there we go. There we go. Okay, and you can see my boobs. It's always important. You know, I've worked hard to get these things, okay? Like, I've worked really hard to get these, okay? So, I'm gonna show them as best as I can. Okay, like, you have no idea. You have no idea how hard I worked to get these things. I really like them. I wish they would, I wish, you know, they're still growing, okay? They're still babies. But they're my babies, okay? Okay, back to the appropriate section of the stream. Rebecca having an appropriate stream? What the heck? Yeah, you know, spoiler alerts. My stream is always awkward. My stream is always inappropriate. There's always talk about boobs or something. Okay, so just calm your tits. I mean, some people on Twitch, you know, probably have bigger boobs than me, and they might even be male. so it's like I got a ways to go, okay? Like awkward silence after talking about man boobs. You know who you are. Okay, I'll focus. Focus, jeez. Like, I want to put the rook here, but obviously the queen will take. I mean, there's no tactic here because that just loses the queen. Threatening here, and then that's checkmate. So you move the queen to defend the pawn? Oh no, you can't move there. But what can I do after that? So threatening a mating attack. Oh. That's not a mating attack. You don't have to make a blunder. Yeah, I gotta hydrate. That's how we'll solve this puzzle, Mr. Poobs. Mr. Poobs! Welcome back to the stream, Mr. Poobs. I remember you. I know who you are. I know where you are. I know what you're saying. You're saying, who is that cutie pie? Well, it's Rebecca. I just referenced myself. Welcome to Rebecca's stream, where I reference my own clips that don't exist anymore because I cleared them out because of possible DMCA, but I downloaded all of them and I put them up on YouTube, but only the first 9 hours. There's 24 hours of clips that we had from July 2019 till October 23rd, 2020. Third person. Ooh. Okay, so I think you need to defend. Oh, but then I went upon somewhat, I guess. Nope, that's not the right answer. I Oh, threatening stuff. What? What? Oh, threatening mate. You got rid of mate, but you lost a queen for a rook. Okay, so that's enough of the raided tactics. I'm having a lot of trouble. Let's just work on some easy ones to take a bit of a break from that. Okay. And then we'll play some games. If anybody wants to play, just let me know. But I need to get these tactics done. You gotta do your daily tactics. So it's like doing your daily butt wipe. Only once a day. If you've done it once, then you met your quota. You don't have to wipe your butt any more than that. Okay, serious. I gotta get that game face. Okay, like. I don't know why I'm having trouble with my tactics today. Does it absolutely have to be your own butt? Yeah, exactly. If you wipe someone else's butt, then you don't even have to wipe your own. Yeah, you can just leave your butt raw. Okay, I don't like this topic. It's just going places I don't want it to go. Space, the final frontier. These are the butts of our voyages. To go, our 5-year mission. To go where no one has gone before. Into the butt zone! Space, the final frontier. These are the days of our lives. Does anybody actually remember Days of Our Lives? Like, I never really watched it, but like, it was a soap opera. I knew it existed when I was growing up. Like, cheeky, I get it. Like, Days of Our Lives was like something that was like a part of my life, but I never watched. Like, I just knew it because my mom and my brother watched it. Like, like I just remember there was a part where like there was a spoiler alert. There was like a woman who was like possessed by the devil at one point. I mean, this is all standard. Like, I guess they like set a lot of standards for like, they broke a lot of like boundaries for soap operas that I don't know. Apparently that's what it was. Like a lot of the soap operas, like kind of like, you know, there was like Dallas, and then there was like Young and the Restless and stuff like that. But you know, All of My Children or whatever. And then there was Days of Our Lives, and like Days of Our Lives like pushed like the plot lines. I don't know. Either way, there's so much to watch. I would never watch it. Like like honestly, like You know what? I used to hate the idea of soap operas, but like, I kind of respect it because they actually film it live. Like they actually do the filming, like with the music, like the person doing the mixing and all that, and like they actually record the scenes live, like that. I didn't know that. like that's actually, I didn't know that until later, and like that's pretty cool. Like that's like total like amazeballs to me. Although it just kind of it kind of turns into a meme where it's like, I'm your ex-wife, ghost inhabiting your brother's body, who got in a helicopter accident, and then he had a brain transplant with me, and now I'm having sex with your boss, and your boss is actually a ghost. Who inhabits your brother. Like, no, it's the ghost of your brother inhabiting your boss. Who went back in time. Okay, focus. Come on, Rebecca, jeez. Like, what is going on? What is it? What is this? What is this? I don't even know, okay? Like I'm just like, what? I can't follow that plot line, okay? Like, that's too much. It's like there's like a line, and here's you, soap opera. Okay, like you crossed the line, okay? Like, that's too much plot, too much. Okay, I need like this amount of boundary crossing, not this amount of boundary crossing. Like okay, Vampire Diaries, that was good. Okay, like that's like, it's like almost soap opera, but it's still focused. Like there's this focus about it. Like there's a difference between soap opera and drama. Like soap opera is like, here's normal, like our normal everyday life. Here's like a normal TV show. Here is a drama, and here's soap opera compared to normal TV. Like, yeah, you can't even see the line from that point. Like, you have people sleeping with each other, but like none of the people were actually the original people. That, they're all occupying different bodies, and then they cheat on each other, and then there's a drug smuggling operation, and then you have like people committing like murder, and the murder actually was like against somebody they didn't want to murder, but they thought that it was that person, and the reason behind the murder was so that they could get back at the person who cheated on them, but they cheated on them. And like, okay, I can get behind like, okay, vampires, okay, vampire politics, okay, vampire troubles, okay, like I could get behind like a focused stream of like plot line that actually has like a focus and like an end goal that you could like follow to an end point. Like, I can get that. I really wish Vampire Diaries never ended. Like, honestly, like, I love Vampire Diaries, and I've had trouble getting into the originals. Like I would like to finish the originals, and I mean I really like it, but it's a lot slower. Like, it's like, I mean, it kind of fits. Like, it kind of fits because they're like the original vampires, and so it's like, including my favorite character, Rebecca. Just because of her name, like that's all there is to it. Like, she's an interesting character because she just like wants to be normal. She doesn't want to be living this vampire life. Like that's, I kind of give her some credit. Like she's not like Elijah or Klaus. Like. But then there's also Legion, which was like something I really wanted to get into. But I want to watch the originals first and then watch Legion. Smug juggling, yes. I don't know why I'm not seeing any lines here. Just take the knight. Okay, well, I'm thinking something like that. What is up with this puzzle? I'm sure like when I see it, it's gonna be obvious. Because it's obvious. Smug juggling. No more coffee for me today, okay? Like this is... No, more coffee, Rebecca. This is content. Okay, like, seriously. Twitch streamer suffers from coffee-related injury. And smug juggling. Those are the headlines. In case you didn't get the joke! Like, I have to explain my jokes even though I'm the only one who needs explaining to. Like, I made the joke, but I need to explain. Like, okay, Rebecca, we're gonna sit you down and, like, explain this joke to you. Don't do anything I wouldn't do. I'm gone. Quick! Get a jetpack! A jetpack and a crack pipe. No. Seriously though, what is going on with this position? Oh! What am I thinking? Attack the queen and bishop. But wait. Okay, let me... Oh. Why not continue to defend... Oh, obviously. Why not continue to defend the bishop? Oh, because then I take the knight, pawn takes, take the bishop, and you can't capture because... Okay, so... Yeah, let me... What? What is this? Oh, I know what it is. There. Because of this. Oh, I don't know. Or probably even better this. Because I'm attacking the rook. No, because if you do this, my knight's still under attack. And you can't take because of the bishop. Okay. Jeez, that took way too long to look at. Okay. Okay, I need to... Okay, here's what's going on here. So now if I go to Lichess, I can just click this. Sorta. Not really. Ugh, okay. Oh, what am I doing here? Okay. Calm down. Calm down, okay? Like, seriously, calm down! Okay, yeah, let's just get back. Oh, you know what cool mode here is repetition. Because this has like different levels. And you have to like get to the levels fast enough and it repeats like the same kind of themes. Or the same positions. Between a rook and a hard spot. Okay. There. What? 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 What am I missing here? Yeah, Blitz Tactics. Hey Hippo, welcome back. It's been a while. Glad to see you back. Good to see you again. Yeah, hey Hippo. Yeah, something. Oh, the different chess view cuts it off here. It kind of sucks. I'm just gonna go back to infinity mode. As I don't like solving tactics fast. Yeah, it looked like you were gonna pair the knight, or gonna pair the knight somehow with the rook or something. I don't know. There was something going on, but I don't like solving tactics too fast. I like to take my time. Well, there is a hanging knight, but is there something better? My laptop is like disconnecting and reconnecting. It's so annoying. Don't get a laptop with Broadcom drivers, with Broadcom wireless driver. Like, Broadcom has to be like the worst wireless adapter I've ever had. Like, whatever you do, don't get a Broadcom wireless adapter. It's like, there's like, it's just always disconnecting. Like, it's just ridiculous. Like, there's nothing wrong with my internet. On my desktop, you know, I have a wired connection. I have Xfinity internet, you know. It's not a USB adapter, it's just an integrated laptop adapter. To be fair, it's a Windows only adapter. But the problem is this laptop is like too slow to run Windows, but it came with Windows 10 on it. It doesn't make any sense. Like it has too little disk space to even run Windows. It's like you have like it's like a 30 gigabyte hard drive, and the operating system takes up like 20 gigabytes. Or yeah, I'm running Linux Mint on my laptop. I think it's like a 50 gigabyte hard drive. But like the operating system for Windows 10 takes like 30 gigabytes, and it keeps climbing because every time they do a Windows update, it requires all this disk space to download it, and that means I can't do anything else other than just run the operating system. I don't know what they were thinking. I don't know what they were thinking putting Windows 10 on a laptop like this. Like, this is clearly like a Chromebook style laptop. Like they could have at least put Chromebook on it. Or Chrome OS. But like I put Linux Mint on it. So it's all good, but it's just still like the problem with that is that Broadcom works terribly on Linux. Like there's no real like the drivers just don't really work. Is there a slot for SSD? Yeah, exactly. I could put SSD. I could put you know, well no, there is. What are those? There is. It has a slot for micro SD. Yeah, I could do a lot of stuff, really, like with this laptop that I could even run an entire operating system on a chip. And then just use the hard drive as storage. Like just format the hard drive as an ext4. Just for like storing files. And then just run the entire operating system on a on an SD card. It is a solid state drive. But it's like it's just a very small one. That's what I'm talking about. So it's like I think if I wanted to make the absolute most efficient usage of this laptop, which would take, I'm too lazy to do it. I'm a real programmer, okay? I'm so lazy I don't even do the things I need to do. I just put up with it. Like I'm just like, okay, well whatever. I'm just gonna use the laptop. There's better uses of my time. I think just taking the night. Oh, and then I can win the pawn. Right? Oh. I'm in check. I don't know why I'm missing these things. I'm playing so badly. I don't know why I do the things that I do. Okay, well, first of all, look at checks. Knight or king can capture, probably the knight. So it doesn't look like there's anything after that. Bishop can't come in to pin because of the pawn. Oh, what I can do is I can attack the queen that way. Okay, there you go. And you have to take the bishop. Oh, no you don't. Yeah, you do. But then the knight takes. Because there's a queen and a knight, not just a queen. If the knight weren't here, that wouldn't work. Oh, so instead you just take the bishop and settle for the rook loss. Look, I don't want to scare nobody or anything. Really trying not to be all doom and gloom, but in all fairness, you should be warned. I'm back. Well, thanks for warning us, Prepper. I'm so glad. You don't need to. You have no idea, okay? Like you don't need to apologize. Have you met me? Okay, like don't feel bad, okay? I love your presence here. Like seriously, welcome back. I'm really enjoying you. I'm really enjoying you here. So don't feel bad. I mean, obviously, I think you were joking, but I just want to, I'm a chess player, okay? I address all angles, like, because what if you were really like? Because I know what it's like. Because whenever I go into somebody else's channel, I feel like the channel is worse for me being there. And I don't know who hurt me. Like, I mean, I do, but like, I don't want to get into it. But right now, at least. But like, I have like this, I'm going to therapy in order to try to drill this out of me. That this sense that like everywhere I go, that I'm taking away from the situation, like I'm somehow making everybody's life worse for me being there, and I don't know why I think this. Well, I mean, I do. But like, I don't know why it's so hard for me to realize that, like, I have value, and like, I have a really negative view of myself sometimes, and so as a chess player, obviously I understand you're making a joke, but at the same time I've said that in half jest as well, where it's like, obviously I'm joking, but I'm also kind of like, I suck, I hate my life, So just telling you right now, like you're welcome and you're loved, and you know you're always welcome here. Unless you're like racist and transphobic and other things, like then you're not welcome here. But I don't think that's you're not giving off that vibe. I'm gonna tell you that right now. You're not giving off that vibe by any means. It's fake, but a lot of people share this feeling. Yeah, I get it. So some people do throw around words like bipolar and autistic without actually having a diagnosis, and I wish they didn't, because I actually am on the spectrum. It's confusing because, like, in some aspects it might be misdiagnosed as bipolar. I almost had a few I actually had a few misdiagnoses in my life because a lot of neurodiverse conditions, I don't know what the better word is, a lot of neurodiverse conditions like autism spectrum or ADHD or bipolar or like narcolepsy or Tourette's or anything like that. Like a lot of people like throw it around like it's some kind of like catch-all. But like, no, it's an actual neurological condition. You can't just say, oh, you know, I'm being autistic right now. Like, that's so, I wish people didn't do that. Like it's just so frustrating, because then when you actually have the diagnosis, people don't take you seriously. They're like, oh, that's just another person throwing it around. I even had one person accuse me of self-diagnosing. That was so frustrating. Yeah. Everything's on a spectrum. Everything that exists on this planet is a spectrum. I don't know why people are so weird. Okay, I'm gonna get a little bit, like, serious, Rebecca, here, but, like, it's so frustrating when it comes to gender and biology, like, sex biology, and, like, sexual identity, and anything, like, gender identity, sexual orientation. Like, when it comes to all that, suddenly people are super binary. But like literally everything else that exists on this planet is a giant spectrum. Look at the like, you know, the light spectrum. We have like UV lighting. We have you know, like there's ultraviolet, and what's the other ones? Not subviolet. There's like two ends of the spectrum. There's like ultraviolet and there's what, X-ray? No. But it's like, you know, like, yeah, they're comfortable talking about it because it's in a box, but nothing on this planet exists in a binary, really. The only thing that exists in a binary is stuff that we've created. Like computers. Computer language exists, machine language exists in 0 or 1. Okay, like that's literally the only thing that exists in a binary. But within but like there's so many different spectrum of things that we can do with those zeros and ones. So it's like even that is kind of a gray area. Infrared, that's the word. Infrared. These are hard puzzles. You know, it's weird how they're hard, but it's on easy mode. What's going on? Okay, well, I can take the rook. That's like, I was looking for some complicated tactic, and really it was just a hanging piece. Like, sometimes that's all there is, Rebecca. Like, I was looking for some checkmate or some like weird fork, and it's like it kind of helps me realize, like, sometimes in a chess position there's no it's actually simpler than we think it is. Like, I think that's actually something, because like when we do tactics and stuff, we're always looking for like, okay, where's the tactic? Like we're on like this like seek and destroy kind of like academic activity, but like really sometimes it's a hanging piece. Like like it's really simple. Okay, well, I can. Oh, Okay, that's checkmate. Survey the position. Okay, look at the pieces. Look for checks. Okay, look for hanging pieces. Yeah, not really seeing it. Meh. Well, it forces a trade. Bishop takes d7, queen or knight takes d7. Obviously not the queen. Bishop takes d7, knight takes d7. That opens up this diagonal. But I don't have a bishop to play on that diagonal. So this is definitely a forced recapture. And if I just recapture again, queen takes. And it would be all even trades, which is probably not going to help me in the endgame. Oh, I see what you mean. Oh! Yeah, pull the knight away. What am I thinking? Remove the defender. What am I thinking? I'm really not being, I usually have a better time doing these, but it's one thing, like we're streaming, okay? Let's just calm down, Rebecca. Having fun with stream. And welcome, Daxtism. It's good to see you again. Sorry, I didn't see you come in. Welcome. Okay, well, look for checks first. Okay, that does get rid of castling. Because there's no way to defend. Oh no, you can move the knight there. That's. So that doesn't really accomplish anything. It'd be easier if clarified whether you were looking for mate or looking to. Well, the whole point is that you just, it's your turn to move. That's like, to me, that's how you should do tactics. Is just pretend like it's an actual game. And like say, okay, well, what can I do here? And obviously, it's still not the same as playing a game, because in a game, it's like you got there from a starting position and like you're not, it's weird because if we treated our games more like tactic puzzles, and if we treated our tactics puzzles more like games, I feel like we would be better chess players. It's so hard to do it. Yeah, a lot of it is feel based. But it's okay, like, Okay, I can attack the bishop because the bishop can't escape. So I think you have the best you can do is get 2 pawns back. So I attack the bishop, bishop takes pawn, pawn takes bishop, queen takes pawn. Oh! Or you sacrifice that way. Okay, it's because that opens up my king. I see what you're saying. Well, they're not saying anything, but they are. Yeah, so that bishop sack is better than the other one, because this one would have just gotten the queen side open, but this one opened, you know, created an opportunity to make a pin on the rook, opens up the king. King has to like somehow get out of that. That's better. I wonder why not queen check first. Yeah, maybe queen check and then move the pawn. Well, because then you move the knight there and the knight defends that. Because that's why. Because if you do the queen check first, it forces the knight to move further into the game. Anyway, new puzzle. Okay, so is there a mate threat? So if I could make a mate threat here, black can check here, and then there's actually no further checks. So you have to like move the pawn here, and I'm gonna bishop. Oh, guess not. Oh, take the bishop. Oh, checkmate. What am I thinking? It's obviously the better move. Like, checkmate's better than winning a bishop. Last time I checked, like last time I checked, checkmate is better than winning a piece. Okay, well I can win a piece here at least, because I don't see any. Oh, I need to look for checks first. Sorry, I need to get through my algorithm. Okay, so the king's here. I don't have any checks. My opponent have any checks. Okay, are there any threats my opponent's making? Okay, attacking the queen. Oh, I could counterattack the queen. You take, I take. Don't think that helps. Although, I was thinking just take the knight, threaten to take the queen, so the queen has to take with check, and then my knight just takes. So I win a piece. Well, I can create a pin. Oh, I'm looking at the it's like I need to look at the things that I need to look at first. I need to look at checks first. The only checks that seems to not work. Bishop takes. I just lose a rook. And if I take that rook, bishop or king takes, so... I could take the bishop, rook takes... Oh, and then I get check. And I win a queen, okay. Because I'm threatening check with winning a piece. And so you take, check, and then I get the queen for a rook. You have a hard time remembering positions after they're not in front of me. It takes practice. Trying to visualize the board. See, the thing that we all know, this is how you visualize a board blindfolded. This is the starting point anyway. Is we all know that the bottom right square is a light square. And if you can start from that, you can reset you can reset the board in your mind anytime. And trying to remember which squares are light squares and dark squares. That helps the most with visualizing a board blindfolded. And if you see that, like, well, first of all, we already know that we can split the board between king side and queen side. But if you split the board into fourths, where you have the king side, you know, set into fourths, and you have the queen side split into fourths, And you notice that it's the same pattern each time. Like the bottom right square of each of those is a light square. And so you remember 1 through 4 for white, or 8 through 5 for black, are always going to have a light square in the bottom right from that point of view. And it's always going to be the same exact setup. Like it's the same pattern repeating itself. And so you could always visualize that way. And if you remember that, if you look at A, C, E, G, I remember this because I'm a musician, and A, C, E, G is A minor, A, C natural, E, and then G. Okay, so that's A minor 7th. So it's like, I remember the dark squares, the odd numbers for so for A, C, E, G, which is A minor 7th, for the odd numbers, for A, C, E, G, the odd numbers are dark squares and the even numbers are light squares. So 1, 3, 5, 7 are all dark squares, and 2, 4, 6, 8 are all light squares. And for B, D, F, H, which is just, I remember that because, you know, like just B, D, F, H. I don't know how I remember that, but B, D, F, H. So for B, D, F, H, the odd numbers are all light squares. And so remembering the square colors is actually like really key to blindfold visualization, because if you can remember that, like, oh, my dark squared bishop is on G5 because it's on a dark square and it's on the king side and it's in my opponent's camp, and it's like, and then you can remember, okay, well, there's a knight here on H6 and I can check, and it's on H6, which means it's an even number, so it's a dark square. And it can move to a light square, F7, to check. Okay, and then you have knight F7 check, and that's checkmate. Oh, no, it's not, because I win a rook for a knight. Okay. So I think the best way to practice it is to actually, you know, playing blindfold chess is hard without a third person to arbiter it. But like, what you can do that I have yet to be able to actually do, but you can get a sheet of paper or a score sheet and just play without a board with your opponent, and just write down each move as you play it. So if you say E4 and then you write down, because then what you can do is you could replay the game from move 1 every single time and then practicing that helps you visualize it. Now, it just really sucks if either of you makes a mistake, an illegal move, and neither of you catch it. That's the biggest problem, but it's good practice, I think. Just even if you're not doing well in the game, I think just playing blindfold chess and visualizing like that itself is good visualization practice, because you're trying to remember what the board looks like and the connection between the pieces. And obviously, if you could have a verbatim representation of the board as if you were looking at a computer screen, that would be ideal. But sadly, that's not how all of our brains work, and maybe that's how Hikaru Nakamura's brain works. But not all of us are Hikaru Nakamura, unfortunately, or maybe fortunately. I don't know. maybe you do not want to be Naka. I don't know. Not to knock on Naka, but gotta knock on wood there. Making flashcards with squares, and I mean, there's a whole lot of stuff you can do, and all of it's good. There's a whole bunch of stuff you can do, and the thing is, there's no magical solution. Like, it's just like doing tactics. You just have to do it. Like, it's just a matter of like understanding that your brain needs to form connections that weren't there before. And everybody has a different brain, and everybody has a different way of forming connections. And I feel, and this is my hypothesis, because I have an autistic brain, and I understand my tendencies for learning is I have a very like solid foundation of being able to learn new material, but it might take me longer to learn it. That's like I mean, it doesn't all of the time. But no, here's the thing. Is that sometimes I learn things quickly, but it's because I'm drawing on past knowledge. And it's actually fast because I took the time before. And that's how I learn. Is everything that I learn now is based on hours and hours and hours of hard work that I put in before. And because chess is so difficult for anyone of any kind of brain, like even geniuses, like I don't want to say I'm a genius. I've been told I'm a genius, but I had like absolutely no problem learning material in school. Well, except for math, for similar reasons why I think I have trouble with chess. But once I learned the foundation of mathematics that my dad helped me with, like I never had a problem with math ever again. Like yeah, it's still like number crunching and like thinking, but like actually like understanding the concepts and the ideas to math comes easy because I understand those foundation. And then like, so I really have a lot of confidence in my chess ability. If I put enough time into it, that's gonna click in. Like that's got that part of my brain that I understand already. Like I already know this about the way my brain works, is that like once I grasp something, like it's there. And like I can just pull from it like it's an infinite source. Like I know I'm not trying to sound like super like geniusy or anything like that. That's just reality I live with, you know, like I can just like somebody can give me something to read, I can read it and then tell them everything about it and then extrapolate data from it and make new data based on that information. Like I've always been able to do that as with like since I was like in elementary school. If somebody gave me a textbook to read, I would read it and I would say, oh, but you know, in that paragraph, they're talking about this, but what if you do it here? And like, why is this like, you know, why is this a thing? Like, you know, like, especially with history, like reading history books was really big for me. I'm really into history because understanding human behavior and, you know, the kind of like, you know, the motives behind why people do certain things, like that has always been like really intriguing to me. And so like understanding why people do the things they do and why things have happened in history. And like a lot of people I've met, I don't want to like shit on people for not being able to understand things, but I used to get really impatient growing up in school because like people would be like, huh? Like they would be in class, like in high school and middle school, and they'd be like, what does that even mean? What are you even talking about? Doesn't make any sense. And I'm like, yeah, okay, like looking back, I'm like, okay, like, you know, those people, you know, they're just trying to understand it. Like, you know, it's not their fault. And, you know, like, I got really impatient, though, at the time. I'm like, this is a waste of time. Like, I've already read the book. Like, what do they want from me? Like, I had a hard time with school. I still do. Because it's like, what are we getting out of it? Like I'm going to school, reading a book, and then just trying to prove to the teacher that I read the book. And it's like, well, you should just trust that I've read the book. Like, what are we even doing here? You want to have Naka's chess skill? Yeah, exactly. But, you know, that's... He's gifted, you know, and he put in a lot of time from a very young age, and he lived, breathed, and slept chess. And it's not very realistic for any of us to expect that, even if we did start at the same time. Like, even if we did start at his age. Like, a lot of people started chess at his age and aren't where he's at. So he deserves a lot of credit. You know, like, anybody who reaches that kind of level of chess skill is, like, above and beyond. Like, that's not something that you can just have. Like, that's not something that you could just attain. Like, maybe, I don't know, who knows? Maybe if you lived, breathed, and slept chess and you had the best possible coaches and that's like all you did for like the rest of your life. And you also had like you know, you had personal trainers to like help you like do physical fitness, and you had people like giving you like healthy, like, you know, a healthy diet, like you had a dietitian, and everything was like perfect, and like people were actually doing like experimental like brain exercises with you to like improve your synaptics and stuff like that. Like you would have to be like going like above and beyond what like most of us would ever hope to achieve in order to get like super GM level. Like it's most likely not gonna happen. I would like to just become a national master at the very least. Like that, if I could become a national master this lifetime, I'd be pretty happy. And obviously, once I get to that point, I can see where I, just, keep going forward. Hopefully even become I am. Who knows? Experimental exercises sound, yeah, exactly. It actually does sound like fun. Let's sign up for some experimental brain exercises where we're training ourselves in like they drop us down like a pit, and we live in the pit and for like 3 weeks. But we don't know that we're gonna live. Like, for all we know, they could let us out in 2 minutes, or they could never let us out. That would be like, they could say, okay, you signed up for this. We're not going to tell you how long we're going to put you down here, and we're not going to guarantee that we're ever going to let you out. Do you still want to do this? That would be torture, exactly. But that would give you new brain synaptics. Like that's how you train your brain. Like that you put yourself into situations that would force you to think a certain way. Like that's how you form new brain connections. Like that, like I don't know if that would be very good. Even if you signed up for it, that's still torture. Like, even if you signed off on it, that's complete torture. That's what they do in the military, though. They do, like, if you want to become like special forces, you have to go through training where you become a prisoner of war. And you sign up for it, so it's not like the difference is, though, that even that, it's still not preparing people for becoming a real prisoner. Sorry for trigger warning. I didn't give you a trigger warning. Sorry if you've been in the military. I've never been in the military, so I only know what I've heard from other people who have been in the military, from veterans and stuff. So I apologize if I'm being insensitive. Yeah, SEER training. See, I didn't even know what it was called. What's it called? What's that stand for? Does it have the word exclusion in it? Or something like that? Survival, evasion, resistance, escape. Yeah, so, I only know from what I've heard from other people in the military is that when you go through that, they actually put you in like a cave, like not a cave, they put you in like a dark, like locked room, like in solitary confinement. And they treat you as if you were a prisoner of war. So it's like, because you have to be able to handle that. And obviously it's still different because you're going to get out of it. Like, so I mean, obviously nothing could ever prepare you for that to really happen. But like, because you could click that in your brain. If you know that you're going to get out of a situation, and I guess you could apply that to the real thing too. Because there's always a chance either you're going to die down here, and if you accept that, then your brain can handle it. But so there's two options. Either you're going to die there, or somebody's going to rescue you, or actually there's three options. Or you're going to find a way out of it yourself. So if you can click that on in your brain, knowing that you have these three options, then you've limited yourself to three options, and your brain can handle that. I know it's not good. Like, obviously you don't want to be a prisoner of war your whole life, the rest of your life. But if you can accept that mentally and say, okay, worst case scenario, I live here till I die. And obviously that whole time you're going to be trying to find either one of those two, to escape or to be rescued. And also being rescued is not a completely one-sided thing, because what if you could get access to radio equipment? All that kind of stuff. On the other hand, I've heard that children in orphanages in Romania lost some brain power because they weren't getting human touch. Yeah, exactly. I mean, I'm not saying these are good. I'm saying that the human mind knows how to endure. Like, if you can learn how to set that switch in your brain, then you can at least, like, get through it. But that's not saying it's a good thing. If you find yourself trapped behind enemy lines, yeah, the resistance part is to train you for torture and stuff so you don't spill military... Yeah, exactly, because if you spill military secrets, you're hurting the greater good. And then there's the question of morality, where if you're serving a country that you know is evil, you know, like if you're in a military where it's like, yeah, like your government is like a crime lord and like smuggles drugs and all that kind of stuff, and you're serving that military, then it's like, well, there's survival, because obviously if you desert, you're gonna get shot or something. But there's also like, well, you know, I don't know. It's these are hypotheticals I don't want to imagine. Like, honestly, sorry to bring the mood down. It's like these are just terrible things. Like, obviously none of us want these things. Like, I just want to live my life, okay? Like, why are you doing this to me, Rebecca? You're just forcing me to think about reality. Yeah, I mean, I can all, you know, as you know, like, as troubling as I've had with, you know, as much as I've had like a lot of, I try to count the positive in my life, because I did get to grow up with parents, even though my mom was not fit to be a parent. I don't want to get into that right now, but, and my dad, and she forced my dad basically to, he was the only one providing financially, and my dad has his own issues, and he had his own issues, but like, he was always there for us, you know. He spent time with us, he cared about us, he didn't just go through the motions with us, like, but my mom completely took advantage of the situation and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, meanwhile, back in chess. Well, this chess position is a literal representation of the topic that we were talking about. This is the reason we talked about what we were talking about, was because of this position. It triggered a bunch of stuff in my brain. If that makes any sense. Like, this position has a specific brain mapping to me. If that makes any sense. I feel like that's just how chess works. Like it maps to your brain. Yeah, I don't know what I can do here. I mean, the most forcing move is check. Oh, so if you want to keep the... Oh. Yeah. After this, I think we can play some games. If anybody wants to play games, let me know. I'm always happy to play viewers. I prefer playing viewers, but I can always just play in the pairing pool. Okay. No, that doesn't work out, really. Don't know if that means it makes sense or not. Yeah, well, I mean, everybody has a different brain, and everybody has a different understanding between, because, you know, what a brain is, it is a physical muscle, but I do believe we create our own understanding of the universe, because the way our brain works is it takes in information and it adapts to itself. And the reason why we're all so unique on this planet is because we all have different frames of reference. And so even people with the exact, like, so if you grow up and you're an identical twin, and you both grow up in the same exact environment, it's still not the same exact environment because you're two different people from different angles. And there's just there's just two different And also, you're starting out with different biology as well. Even if you're identical, you still have different biology in your brains. And yeah, some composers can see colors when different notes are played. Yeah, that's actually what's it called? Like something aphasia. So with me, I don't know if I don't know if I've ever really seen colors when I listen to music. Yeah, synesthesia. But what I do is I actually feel like every single vibration has a unique personality. I've been a musician my whole life. I've been surrounded by music. I've been in choir. I've been in band. You know, I've composed. I've, you know, done a whole bunch of different music stuff. When I think of music, I just think of it like people. Like it's kind of like chess to me. Like, I guess in the sense that like an individual note, depending on the, you know, it, especially since there's different pitch, there's different timbre, there's different like, you know, sound qualities. There, you know, there's different like, you know, sound sources. So something coming from like an acoustic, if something coming from an instrument that I'm in the room is different than a speaker or a headphone or whatever. And so when I hear something, I'm hearing it as a unique personality. And so I connect to I connect to music as if like I actually see music as people. I don't know if that makes sense. We know nothing about history. We only know the stories. Yeah, exactly. I do believe that's changing because of the internet age, because everybody's allowed to tell their side now. Maybe not everybody, but like you know, and it's like, you know, I had a huge Twitter argument with people about free speech, and I think they were missing the point, is because I was specifically talking about people like J.K. Rowling and how she got third place in an essay contest with her essay that was completely shitting on trans women. And it's like, that's hate speech. Like, that's literally like she's spreading hate propaganda against trans people. And how is that being rewarded? Like, and that's what I was talking about. It was like, yeah, you have the right to say stuff, but that doesn't mean that, you know, you should get away with it all the time. Like, if it's targeting a marginalized group that is like endangering our lives, and, you know, it's the reason, you know, sorry for the serious talks. You know, I did like Harry Potter, but now Harry Potter is forever tainted for me. Because, you know, it's one thing with like Ender's, you know, like with Orson Scott Card, how he's like, you know, fundamentalist with his religion, but, and he's expressed his views on the matter, but he also understands that he's against where society is going. And he doesn't really, from what I don't follow him for obvious reasons, but from what I know, he hasn't like actively like attacked trans people and gay people. Like, he's said his opinions about how he thinks is wrong, but he hasn't like actively attacked, from what I know. Maybe he has, but like, I'm able to separate, you know, have Death of the Author from that. Like, I'm able to separate Orson Scott Card from the Ender series and the Speaker series, which doesn't make any sense to me how he wrote a book series that is, you know, the same thing with J.K. Rowling. Like, it doesn't make any sense to me how somebody who can write characters who have a diverse background and who and he can understand the relationships between people and how people come from different backgrounds and how you should, you know, learn how to integrate into society no matter who you are, especially with Jane. Like, she was worried about people accepting her. Sorry, I'm not going to give any spoilers, but Jane is like the biggest character in the Speaker first series, like who was like a huge example of like accepting people for being different. And it's like, and yet he can't accept gay people and trans people. It doesn't make any sense how somebody can write these characters and yet not accept reality. But then there's J.K. Rowling, who writes a book series literally about a person who wants to get rid of people because they're not pureblood and because they're different. And the whole idea of the book series is that that's wrong. And then she comes around and says that trans women are wrong. And that make cisgender women spaces unsafe. And it's like, how am I making, like, how am I endangering other women? Like, yeah, I don't know why I didn't see that. Now I have to do another one because you solved it for me. Yeah, well, sorry for the spoilers, but I'm just gonna tell you right now, the whole storyline of Harry Potter is that there's a group of people who are basically Nazis trying to gain control of the wizarding world, who want only people who are pure wizards to rule the world, and that anybody who doesn't have who is either not pure blood or who is like non-wizarding at all is like less than them. And then J.K. Rowling turns around and says like, oh, well, you know, you're not a real woman. And then she claims that she respects trans women. It's so ridiculous that so many people claim that they're not transphobic, but they actively do transphobic things. Like, I'm just gonna say right now, I can't speak for every single trans woman out there, but it's pretty safe to say that these people who say that they're not, you know, like, people who think that, like, oh, like, you know, I'm not transphobic, but I'm gonna, like, you know, say that, you know, trans women aren't real women and that, like, don't belong in women's spaces and shouldn't use the restroom. Like, like, what are you gonna check everybody's genitals who goes into the restroom? Talk about creepy. Like, why does it matter? Like, why do these people care so much? And they get so angry too. They're like, oh, you're not the gender. You're not the gender you're assigned at birth. That makes me angry. They're so snowflake. They're such snowflakes. And then they claim that we're the ones who are like. They claim that, like, oh, you know, you social justice millennials, you're always like snowflakes, and it's like, no, you're the one who's angry about me being my gender, like, like literally just existing, and you're like so angry about it, you make signs and go out and protest, like, like why does my gender matter to you? Like the only person it matters to is me, you know, and I'm just like, I would think that, like, me being allowed to, like, live a healthy, happy life should be something that you're, like, not actively going to try to prevent. But instead I have to live my whole life with this political tinge. It's so frustrating. It's like, you know, I wish I didn't have to live my life like this, but I can't not be trans, because that was not living. I tried that for like 14 years. Like, I tried living as a male for 14 years, knowing that I was trans. It was torture, okay? And obviously sometimes I didn't know it was torture, but it was. It's not sustainable. It wasn't something I could continue to living with. I can never go back. It's not possible. And even if it was, like, why Why force people to live in your standards? Like say, oh, well, you know, this person was able to live their whole life without transitioning. Why can't you? It's like, well, you know, like that's good for them, I guess. Like maybe they could have had a better life, but I guess they chose to force themselves to go against their actual identity, you know, for whatever reason. You know, more power to them, but like, why am I forced to live by their standards? People are like, oh, you know, why don't you just, you know, get a tougher skin and deal with it? You know, like I was able to do all this stuff. Why can't you? It's like, if I'm not involved in a romantic relationship with someone, their sexuality, gender identity is essentially not. Yeah, exactly. Like literally, like you're just going out to have some coffee. I'm not gonna have any more coffee. I'm like, ugh. And now I just spilled coffee on my hand. But it's just like literally, like if you're out in public, you see somebody walk into a bathroom, and it's weird to me that people out there will say like, oh, well, that person looks like they're not the gender that they're going into the bathroom for. Or, you know, the fact that they're even thinking that, what if that person was a cisgender woman? And you just like assume that they're transgender? That's fucked up, dude. Like there was even that photo online that this woman like saw, and she was like, oh, you know, trans women shouldn't be allowed in sports. These are 4 men. You know, this is 1 woman and 3 men. And then those women were literally cisgender women. They just looked, you know, they didn't look traditionally as feminine as this woman wanted them to be. Like they had, you know, they were skinnier and they're a little bit more gaunt. Like, you know, like, why are you judging people for their appearance? Like, it's like ridiculous because this was 4 cisgender women in a running competition. Which, you know, like there's only a few sports where trans women aren't allowed to play in, like powerlifting. Powerlifting makes sense because that's by weight class. And sometimes trans women have like bigger muscular formation because of, you know, whatever they, like, especially if they were powerlifters before they transitioned, because a lot of that is almost impossible to get rid of. You know, like it takes years to get rid of like muscle mass that you've formed as a male. And like, yeah, people do argue against skeletal structure, but I really don't think skeletal structure has as much influence over sports as people think it is. And obviously I'm not a scientist, and so there's like way more stuff that I'm not even thinking about. But for some reason, all these people on Twitter and stuff think that they know everything about the way the science works. And insist that like, oh, well, you know, trans women have bigger skeletons, so that makes them superior. And it's like, yeah, that's one factor, but there's also other factors that like mean a lot more in sports than your skeleton, because some cisgender women have extremely large bones too. Like there's different like factors. Like, what are we gonna ban cisgender women who are too big from playing in sports just because they have bigger like bone structure? Like, ridiculous. And like, you know, hormone levels are like the most determining factors as far as gender differences go in sports, except for like powerlifting, which doesn't allow trans women, and that makes sense. If you were like a powerlifter before you transitioned, and you started transitioning and you still have all these extremely like big muscle mass, that gives you more weight, and that puts you in a weight class. So I think that's not even about gender, that's about weight. Like if a cisgender woman weighed and had the same muscle mass as a cisgender man, they shouldn't, you know, they should be allowed to participate in the same event, but like that just doesn't happen. Archaeologists can tell the difference between a male skeleton versus a female's. Yeah, I'm saying there's difference, but like whether or not that's a see, it has not been determined that like after like I think almost 2 decades of research for trans women playing in sports, that has not been shown via science that it is an advantage, and yet people argue it all the time. I don't understand why people are just science deniers. Yeah, like I'm saying, like I think it's more cosmetic and minor. Like maybe it had a difference back in like the caveman days, because I guess having a bigger bone structure was part of evolving in order to like survive the conditions or something like that as a male. I don't know why. Like, like biology is not my forte. I don't understand. But it's all like that's like reproductive stuff. Like sports is something that we created as humans as a competition. Okay, and there's more than biology that factors into sports. And scientists spend their whole entire career specifically devoted to making sure that sports are fair. And in any competition where trans women would have an advantage over cis women, there's decisions to be made that change the way, like in certain, like I said, like in certain competitions like powerlifting. But people were like, oh, let's just ban trans women across the board. Life doesn't work that way. Life is a spectrum. Okay, like, and first of all, I don't know any trans person. Maybe there's trans women out there who exist that do this, but I wouldn't know any trans woman who would want to compete in a sport if there was an advantage for being trans. Who wouldn't want to compete with other women? Because and that's the reason, if there was an advantage, trans women would not be allowed to compete in that category. That's all there is to it. This has been, it's like highly scrutinized. Sports is highly scrutinized. If at any time there's an advantage, you're disqualified. Like, it's not some feel-good PC culture thing. It's based on science. And yeah, like I wouldn't know. And Blair White, who's a piece of garbage, uses half facts and actively makes up lies. You probably know the video I'm talking about. I forgot this woman's name. I'm sorry. And I even think that they were gender non-binary. I'm not sure, but like, there was a trans woman that she was talking about trying to compete in sports, saying that she deserved to win against women. And it's like, she posted that she would never compete in women's categories in powerlifting. She like made it very clear that she only would compete with men. And it's like, but like Blair White wants to put a target on all trans people who aren't her. And it's like, oh, well, I'm the good trans. Everybody else is gross and weird and disgusting and needs to try to pass more. But, bitch. Yeah, but I mean, winning more money, is it really worth the public scrutiny? Even, and also it's so bad that trans women who fairly participate with cis women in events that are fair get extra scrutiny if they win. And that's a kind of pressure where it's like you might not want to win, because you're like, if I win, people are going to accuse me that I only won because I'm trans. And it's just like the thing with like, like with affirmative action and stuff. People are like, oh, I only got the job because I was black, or I only got the job because I'm a woman, or whatever. It's like people are going to treat you like garbage just for doing well. But if you're white and you're cisgender and you're a male, then it's like, oh, well, you did well, you're great, you're good, you earned it. But if you're like a trans woman and you compete in like a fair competition and you do well, people are like, oh, you only won because you're a man. And it's like, I'm not a man. I'm never gonna be a professional sports player except for chess. And chess is completely fair, like regardless of gender or age or race. Because it's a mental sport. And yeah, I am apparently some people think that women are inherently worse at chess. I actually think it might even be the opposite, because people often say, obviously there's no real evidence either way, except for like the small amount of evidence that people have based on a very small data set, and also disregarding the social aspect where women are actively discouraged from playing chess, both actively and just through the environment, where it's a hostile environment for women. it might be the opposite though. Women have been known, and obviously, regardless, whatever advantage can be made up for with other disadvantages, and vice versa. Because male brains work different than female brains. I have a female brain. I always have. That's what being trans is. And also taking estrogen changes my brain chemistry even more closer to a cisgender woman's. So you could argue that some people would say, oh well, that'll give me a disadvantage in chess. I think they're wrong, because I do believe that the female brain has a more logical component to it than men's. Women are often said to be more logical than men, and men are said to be more emotional. And they aren't said, but wait, let me rephrase that. Men are often said to be more logical and steady and based on analytical, but men are actually more driven by emotions. But the funny thing is, and the irony is, that men claim that women are more emotional, and the difference is that women respond to antagonism. Does not make you emotional, it makes you defensive because people are attacking you. And so it's like, that's not emotional. Like, that's just logic. Like, if you respond in a way that is logical to the situation, if somebody is attacking you, you can't just sit by and say, oh well, that's just normal, that's okay. And it's sad though, is that so many women are told that men have the right to be in charge of whatever you do in your life and stuff like that. It's so sad that, and times are changing, but how much less women play chess, and yet Judith Polgar was top 10. Yeah, exactly. And and the reason is because she pushed past, that was despite the insane odds where you're playing in a locker room and where men will actively antagonize you or flirt with you, because men for some reason think that being attracted to someone means that they're asking to be flirted with, and bitch, you're just turned on like that. It's not because she's a woman, it's because you're turned on by her. That's literally all there is. Get that through your head. You're like, oh well, women are always being slutty and asking for it. It's like, bitch, that's because that's what you're into. If you were a gay man, or you were into different kinds of things, you would not be thinking that. You wouldn't be thinking that these women are just trying to be slut. And yeah, sometimes women take advantage of that, and that's fine too, because men do that too. It's just normal part of life, is we use the environment around us, and we try to take our advantages and try to use them in whatever way is comfortable with us. If I was comfortable using my sex appeal to make a living, I would do it. But I'm not very comfortable doing it. Yeah, I could do it, but that's different than being wanting to do it. We're brought up with blue as boy color and pink as girl color. Yeah, exactly. But then there's also this other argument where just because you want to be counter to what the stereotypes are, doesn't mean that you should be counter. Pink can still be a girl color. Like Olivia over here. She's a girl, and she's pink, and that's okay. Oh, you can't see her. I don't know what's up with my webcam. It's sometimes it just moves. Yeah, Olivia over here, she's pink, but but that's okay. I don't know what I'm going on about. But yeah, some women are able to use their sex appeal and become booby streamers and stuff like that. That doesn't make them a slut. That just makes them comfortable with using their body to their advantage. If you were a guy and you had boobs and people were turned on by those, and you had the opportunity to make money and make a living with those boobs, and you were comfortable with it, and you did it, like like why should you be shamed for it? Now that's different than saying like you should be forced to do that. Like that's different. Like I'm not comfortable making a living off of my sex appeal. Like, I mean, yeah, like I love being sexy, but there's a difference between like doing that like every day, all day, and like, you know, saving that for when I'm comfortable. I'm not always comfortable, you know, showing my body. I'm not always comfortable doing sex acts in front of people. And so it's like, yeah, some people are comfortable with that. They're okay with that, or they want that, and that's fine. And like, why are people so obsessed with like, oh, you know, she talked about her dildo, that makes her a slut? And it's like, no, it's like, it's ridiculous. Oh. Wow, that took way too long. I don't know about you. That took way too long. It's just took way too long, okay? It's easier when I don't have to be entertaining. Yeah, exactly. Like, I'm trying to be entertaining. And obviously, you know, there's different definitions of the term entertaining. Because entertaining could just be, like, talking about something funny, or it could be talking about something that's engaging. I think that the right term is, like, engaging. Because, like, I would think that, you know, I like to think that I'm pretty engaging. Like, I talk about stimulating topics sometimes. And sometimes it makes me uncomfortable. Like, honestly, like, sometimes I don't want to be talking about the things that I talk about, but it's just like, it's such a huge part of my life. Especially when it comes to trans issues. Like, that's something I have to live with, and that's part of the reason why I didn't really transition for so long. Is because I knew I was trans, but I'm like, this is really hard. Because people are gonna judge me, you know, people are gonna call me like all sorts of things, and and you know, I'm probably never going to be fully accepted in society, and I actually had to accept that as a reality, and that shouldn't be the case. Like, I shouldn't have to accept my reality as either I live my entire life miserably and never transition and never find out who I am, or I transition and am forced to live in a hostile environment for the rest of my life. Which, honestly, it's so disgusting how that's the better option. How being subjected to a lifetime of bigotry and hatred is a better option than not doing it. It's disgusting. And the fucked up thing is that, like, is that the people who are the most active at hurting us are the people who keep telling us that we need to just suck it up and just, you know, be okay with our gender. And they don't understand that this is not something that I can have a choice on. Like, I can't change this about myself. I can't just magically become a cisgender male, because I'm not. I've never been a male. And you know, I'm really glad that I am where I am, because like the only reason I was able to get to where I am now is because there just happened to be a random turn of events that led me to this, to you know, obviously it was inevitable. You know, I am inevitable. You know, Rebecca was inevitable, okay? I was always here. But being able to have the environment and the parts of my life that happened in order to trigger my brain into turning over all the things that it needed to in order to be ready to transition were very specific, and I don't even want to think about what things could have been like if I didn't. And I don't know. People are just get over it, cheer up. Like, yeah, I never thought of that. I'm cured. Yeah, exactly. People who don't know what they're talking about seem to think they know everything. It's so disgusting. Like, people are like, oh, well, you know, I'm able to do that. Why can't you? It's like, life doesn't work that way, okay? Like, people have different realities than you. Not everybody is you. But for some reason, people don't understand this. They see like, oh, well, you know, I only know life one way, and I'm okay with it. Why aren't you? And it's like, yeah, but bitch, you don't... you don't have my reality. You, like, I will never understand. I'm bringing race into it, okay? Like, I'm white, you know, spoiler. Like, yeah, I mean, that's a reality. I'm white, okay? And so I have privilege that I would not have if I was black. Just by virtue of my skin color. And in a lot of ways, it's and I don't want to compare being transgender to being black because it's a different thing, but it's also the same thing in the sense that I can't change this about myself. The difference is that if I really, really, really wanted to, I could hide that I'm trans. But that is not even a reality, because like, I can do it, but that doesn't mean that it's a reality, because that's how people end up with depression and suicide and stuff like that. And it's a reality that all trans people live with. Maybe not all trans people. It's different level. I can't speak for every person. Not everybody has extremely crippling dysphoria, because some people transition even when their dysphoria isn't that bad, or have no dysphoria, which is... I can respect it and I can understand it, because being trans is actually pretty awesome, you know, except for the social aspect. You know, that's the, but you know, like, oh, thanks, Moobot. Yeah, hiding mental illness is just, it's not an option. Like, you know, like, it's not something to be ashamed of, it's what you have to live with. And if you lost a leg and you had to live in a wheelchair, you can't just, like, pretend. But for some reason, because it's mental, that's suddenly something that you should have to just deal with without, you know, like, it's just ridiculous that people need these, like, they have, like, these ideas that, like, oh, well, this person doesn't have, you know, this person's blind, so they're obviously disabled, but because this person looks like they're fine, they're not disabled. Even though they're, like, it's just a different kind of disabled. Like, I'm disabled because society does not work in a way that is conducive for me being able to be successful. And yeah, maybe I can somehow magically make something work. And which is why I'm here on Twitch. I'm sorry I'm getting a little emotional here, because this is something I've been working towards for a very long time. And I don't know if it's ever gonna happen. I actually got emotional about it last stream, and it's something that every time I talk about it, it's like I said, like, you get put in this, I was talking about earlier, if you're locked in a dungeon and you have no idea when you're gonna get out, or if you're gonna get out. You could get out in 1 minute, or you can get out never. You just don't know. That's what trying to grow a career online with streaming is like. Where either I could literally get raided by, like, a giant mega streamer like Pokimane right now, and somehow convince people that I'm worth staying around for. So that could happen right now. Most likely it's not gonna happen. Most likely she doesn't even know I exist, or any of these people. But, like, you know, that could literally happen. Or I could be spending my whole entire life trying to grow something online and never get past 1 or 2 viewers. And that's a reality. You don't look sick. 6 of the dozen voices in my head disagree with you, but the other 6 agree with you. And yeah, I have no delusions, you know, of how the reality of becoming a Twitch streamer, and part of the what's the word, not pain, part of the struggle I have, I don't know what the word to use is, you know, part of the struggle I have is that I don't know exactly, but I'm actually all too aware of the realities of my situation, and that's what makes me upset. It'd be one thing if I was delusional and I'm like, oh, you know, I'm gonna be a famous streamer, I'm gonna be freaking awesome, I'm gonna get signed on, I'm gonna get contracts, and it's like, okay, like, yeah, like, but like, I understand that that's like almost impossible for anybody to get to that point. And you know, like, I'm not jealous, or envious rather, of people who have had success. I'm happy for them, because if I was in their shoes, I would be ecstatic. And like, it's so magical to be able to be in a place where you can actually make a living just showing up and making content and just chatting with people and, you know, just playing your game and trying to be as entertaining as you can, and, you know, being smart about it, of course. But like, 4 of the other 6 agree, 1 rarely speaks, 1 is too busy screaming. I'm sorry to hear that. But maybe it's fine. I don't know. Yeah, I think I should try to play some chess. I don't want to play Ultra Bullet. Let's just play some Bullet, okay? Let's just focus our brain enough on chess to, like, cause I'm just getting really sidetracked here. Sorry about that. I mean, it's all part of the stream. Yeah, exactly. Like, I don't know what it's like to be anybody else but me. And so I have to live with the reality. Like, I've never not been on the autism spectrum. I've never not had gender dysphoria. Or not, you know, I've always been transgender. I've always been on the autism spectrum. So the only difference is knowledge. Like, knowing that that's what's going on. That's the only thing that's been different. I'm like taking way too much time, that last move. Okay. Now I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know why I did all that. Nice. Bing bang boom. Oh. Bing bang boom. Oops. What am I doing? Oh, I pre-moved. I'm still up material. Oh, now I'm not. now I'm losing. Just accept what you are, be okay with it, and at the end of the day, to hell with anyone who can't get behind that. Yeah, but no, the difference is like, there's the way people treat you, which is something that I don't have to put up with. Even though it is my reality, being a trans person, there's plenty of people accepting me and who actually are actively trying to be an ally. And so, you know, society is actually on a very good trend right now. But it's just the people who still hurt us is so loud and so damaging, and they don't even want to take responsibility for what they do. And it's a relationship that I can't just run away from, because these are the people who run our government. These are the people who exist in society, who decide like everything that we do. I can't just like, you know, obviously, you know, there's discords out there. Like I'm going to use Discord for an example. I can join a Discord and join voice chat and say, "Hey, everybody, I'm trans." And it's a coin toss sometimes whether or not people will accept me. And the problem is that doesn't make them bad people. It's just some people are very ignorant of what constitutes transphobia. And that's actually worse sometimes than people who are outright transphobic. Because when good, well-intentioned people are being transphobic and hurting you, and when you speak up against it, then they start hating you, because they're like, "Oh, well, you know, I'm being really nice. I'm a good person. Why are you telling me that I'm harassing you?" Like, and obviously it's just so frustrating that people make it all about them. And then, you know, the irony is they accuse, like, you know, us trans people, they accuse me of being self-centered and making it all about myself. And, like, literally, I'm just trying to exist and come into a group and socialize and enjoy my time gaming or whatever. Like, that's all I'm trying to do, but I can't, because my entire brain is forced to focus on this social aspect of having inequality. Like, no matter where I go. And yeah, there's some spaces that are a lot more accepting than others, especially trans spaces and, you know, just gender diversive, and, you know, like, gender expansive groups. But I can't just live my whole life existing in a little teeny bubble. There's actual people on the planet who have different life experience than me, who are from different perspectives. And I don't want to just exist only in an echo chamber. I want to grow and expand and hear from all sorts of people from different backgrounds. And I can't do that all the time, because some people have so many transphobic beliefs ingrained into themselves that they will never accept me. Yeah, people who mansplain, exactly. Or cisplain. Or in some cases, man-cisplain. Or cis-mansplain. Like when it's a man mansplaining to me, but also cisplaining to me. Saying like, "Oh, well, you know, I don't have these problems. And I know more than you about this because I went on Google and read a document. And even though I don't live that actual experience, I'm just gonna sit here and just make armchair arguments based on my feelings." I need to remember that I was playing Bullet, because I was like taking way too much time on that, and then I didn't take enough time on some things. Okay. Okay. Oh no. This is like the weirdest castle I've ever had to do. Like I actually went all the way around. Uh-oh, blood sugar alerts. It's a warning. I have it set so that if it's going too high or too low, it'll tell me 20 minutes before in a trend. Like I'm really enjoying having the information about my blood sugar. It just kind of sucks having to wear this like really kind of uncomfortable thing, but you know, it could be worse. Oops. You missed it. Oh no. Oh god. I'm still at material, oddly enough. Even after all that garbage. Now I'm not. I could have taken. Oh no, I could have. All right, there we go. 9 seconds to spare. And I had picked up material. Yeah, people don't really treat you like that. Okay, this person who only... Yeah, exactly. I'm the one living with it every single day, and every single Discord I go to, I have to either live in the closet, which I'm not doing. That's what I stopped doing. I'm 100%... I can't change who I am. Do cisgender people have to go around? Like, obviously, some people live in anonymity. I can't do that. Like, I refuse to, especially since I'm trying to be a streamer. I literally can't hide myself. Like, that's, and also, you know, I'm specifically trying to put myself out in public. Like, that, I can't, the ship has sailed on anonymity. Like, that, I could have never done that. Like, that was never an option for me. But like either, you know, cisgender people don't have to like, you know, as far as like, you know, risk, I mean, yeah, women do. Cisgender women often have to like pretend that they're not women to feel safe in spaces. But as soon as it's like, then you have to limit yourself. You have to hide who you are. You can't participate in voice chat. You're never really going to be able to interact with the people because you're pretending to be someone you're not. And I can't even imagine, you know, I will never know what it's like to be a cisgender woman. But, you know, like, I understand. Because, like, you know, being transgender is, like, you know, especially being a transgender woman, a lot of that overlaps with, you know, because I am a woman. But I'm different, but it's, you know, because there's different issues. Because it's not just misogyny and sexism, it's like... There's that, but then there's the fact that transphobic people don't even accept me as a woman. And that kind of creates a weird mix. Because either people accept me, and they also have, like, ingrained misogyny and sexism, regardless of how they intend. Like, there's, like, I have ingrained misogyny and sexism, just from growing up in a world where men dominate. Like, anybody does. Like... cisgender women, transgender women, cisgendered men, transgender men, anybody non-binary, like everybody lives in this world that's been dominated by men. And so we all have ingrained misogyny and sexism just from existing on this planet. And you know, I have ingrained transphobia as well. But like the problem is that like people who are transphobic think that I'm a man pretending to be a woman, and until people accept that I am the gender that I say I am, like there can't be any like progress. And people are really trying hard to figure out how to convince people that science supports us. And it's really hard to do that when people literally won't accept that wearing masks and social distancing will prevent deaths from COVID. It's not going to completely prevent all the deaths from COVID, but it's going to prevent the spread, which is going to prevent a lot of deaths. Like that, like people literally won't listen to science when it comes to saving your life during a global pandemic that is killing people like such a high rate. Like, if people won't listen to that, then what hope do we have for people accepting me being a woman? Like, but you know, we have to live it. We have to fight. We have to move forward. Focusing only on the differences. Yeah, we need to embrace the similarity because we're all really similar. Oops. God damn it. Oh, fuck! They don't even get a prepper started on the COVIDiots. Yeah, exactly. No, I mean, cause like, I can take the time to understand what it's like for somebody who grows up in a Christian household and understand what kind of difficulties they face. Because imagine growing up where your entire life you're told one thing about people and that the world only exists in this one way. And then you get exposed to a group of diverse people and you have all these ingrained prejudices. But you're a good person. Because having having this upbringing doesn't make you a bad person. Like, it's damaging, and until you recognize that your ingrained prejudices are damaging to people, you can't make any progress. Like, I have prejudices, and it's not having those prejudices that makes you a bad person. It's actively defending those prejudices instead of trying to move beyond them. Because it's one thing to know that you have prejudices, and then to say, oh, well, you know, my prejudices are justified. Like, no, it's not justified. That's bigoted. It's not justified. It's not justified. It's bigoted. Because you're basing all of your judgment based on preconceived notions that are possibly extremely damaging to entire demographics of people. And it just boggles my mind. People are like actively fight to be able to hate people. They're like, oh, well, you know, it's free speech. It's free speech. I should be able to make jokes, you know, that damage your entire demographic. Like, you know, like, because it's free speech and free speech must be protected. It's like, well, like, why is it more important for you to make a joke on YouTube than it is to actually respect and try to understand and make equality for people who are different than you? I will never understand this. Why people will fight to the death because free speech, free speech, free speech. Like, some things aren't free, and free speech was not intended for you to just make jokes that hurt people. Free speech was specifically made so that we could protest against our government. That we can't just, like, the government, oops, I gave it my queen. That we can't just, the government can't just, like completely dominate, and anytime somebody dissents against it, that they can just punish you for it. But the sad thing is that's what our government does anyway. That our people are actively fighting that about our Constitution, but our government actively goes against the Constitution on a daily basis. Who's being mean to Rebecca? Hey, Devil Doggy. Well, the world is being mean to me. Yeah, me and Prepper were, like, talking about stuff. We were talking about, you know, like, the cost of progress. How, like, every time you want to try to change something, you have to face pushback. Who's being mean to Rebecca? It's Deviled Eggy. Deviled Eggy. You were in my stream at one point. I'm so sorry if I forgot. it's sometimes I remember people by name, sometimes I don't. I really apologize. If you remind me which stream that you were in. Oh, it used to be Sarar Kisses, and I don't remember that name either. Every record has been destroyed or falsified, every book rewritten, history is stopped, nothing exists except as an endless present in which the party is always right. Yeah, exactly. The funny thing is that the people who claim that this quote-unquote PC generation is creating an Orwellian 1984 world where we have to accept, like, you know, especially like Ben Shabibo, you know, like he says, like, oh, you know, what you say is true and I have to accept it. But literally the people who are living in this 1984 Orwellian world are the people that have the same values as people like Ben Shapiro. They're like literally trying to force us to believe what they believe. And all we're asking is saying, hey, like, don't be a dick to me. Let me live my life. And like, what? Yeah, you know, not much has changed, but a lot has changed this past year and a couple of months. I've been on hormones for a year and 4 months now. Or no, year and 3 months. September 25th, 2019. So it's like a year and 3 months. It's been a year and 3 months on hormones. It's been quite a crazy journey. And I'm excited because this year I am crossing my fingers that we're able to get all the paperwork and all the things lined up that need to happen in order for me to get my gender confirmation surgery for my bottom surgery. So I can go through the recovery, the extremely annoying and long recovery process to having my genitals match my identity. And it's gonna be scary as F. And you know, obviously there's a lot of things that'll change. And I'm you know, I'm scared of that, but I think it would be irrational. I think it would be I think it would be cause for concern. Oops, I don't have a rook there. I meant to play my rook there first. Oh no! Okay, never mind. That kind of works. This is what I get for playing Bullet, you guys. Just before the age of COVID. Yeah, exactly. It's kind of weird sometimes that like my transition basically started at the same time. Like, you know, I went a couple of months where we without COVID, but like the majority of my transition has been during COVID. So it's really kind of interesting how that worked out. I'm not gonna play Bullet. It's like really hard to play. And in fact, I don't even want to play a tournament. Just play 3+2. But yeah, I mean, like, I'm looking forward to it. Even though it's scary, it's a rational. It's rational to have fear of something that's. But you know, that doesn't mean that I'm not gonna do it. Like, people need to understand that this is something I've known I've needed for like 14 years, and I've been pushing and pushing and pushing for it to happen. And I'm informed and I'm educated on the realities, and I'm, you know, even knowing all of that, I still know that I need it. And yeah, it's gonna change a lot of things about my life. But is it really? I'm probably still gonna have trouble getting laid. Like, that's a reality right now. The funny thing is I've had people in my life, like family, say like, oh, why do you want to get that surgery? You won't be able to have sex with women anymore. I'm like, bitch, like women have sex with women all the time. like, are you kidding me? Do you like not understand what sex is? You think sex only exists if you have a penis? I'm glad to have your support. But either way, you know, I have to, if I'm gonna be completely honest with you, I'm really into other trans girls, and I do have a type, so I'm into really feminine trans girls, like with natural breasts. Which sometimes I feel bad for, because I'm like, why am I judging? But at the same time, like, sexual preferences with, well, not sexual preferences, like having a type doesn't make me like transphobic. Like, I don't think that does. Because I think what makes you transphobic is when, because you're not attracted to that person, you're going to attack that person, and not only attack them, but try to undermine and attack all trans women because of your limited knowledge. I think that's what makes transphobia. Like, I think saying like, oh, I'm not attracted to this person, that doesn't make you transphobic, I don't think. Like, some trans people might argue that that's transphobic for not wanting to have sex with someone just because they're trans. I think there's a difference for like the reasoning behind why you don't want to be with somebody. And you know, like, it's one thing to like not want to be with somebody and that's the end of it. You just go on with your life. But there's another thing to not want to be with somebody, but then blast them on Twitter and, you know, like all that kind of stuff. Yeah, it blows my mind how people go out of their way to hurt people. Like, I don't understand. Like, it's one thing, like, when I go on and on about something, it's about something that I'm passionate about. I'm not claiming to be perfect or anything like that, but I go on and on about things because it's an important topic and I'm trying to defend my own right. Oh, fuck. Jeez. What have I done? Oh yeah, I mean, some people are asexual, legitimately don't have a type. And you know, it'd be one thing for like that to exist and for me not to understand what it's like to be ace. But it would be another thing for me not only to not understand it, but to go out of my way to try to convince you that you're not actually asexual and that you're just confused. And yeah, obviously it's checkmate. What am I doing? But like, people are like that. They're like, oh, well, you know, you just haven't met the right person yet. Or, you know, you're like, oh, you're just confused. Or, you know, you just need to get laid. Like, people, like, legitimately, hey, Strider, it's good to see you again. I hope you had a good stream, or if you've been streaming lately. Sorry I haven't been around lately. I've been kind of doing my own thing, and a lot of stuff has been off stream, too. So it's like, apologize for not catching all your streams. I hope you're doing well, and I hope your streams have been doing well. But, like, it's one thing, what was I saying? Like, I've had family members like argue, oh, you only think you're trans because you haven't gotten laid. And I'm like, what? I mean, that, first of all, that's ridiculous because gender identity has nothing to do with your sex life. But second of all, like, I've literally still felt this way after getting laid. Like 11 hours for, jeez, more power to you, Strider. I can't do that anymore. I just can't. I wish I could do that much chess, but I just can't. I've been trying to like space it out. I've been trying to just do tactics every day, and also just take mental breaks. I've just been playing my video game off stream and just trying to relax. I have a lot of stuff going on in my life right now. We're virtually finished applying for SSI. There is one more annoying hiccup that we have to do with paperwork that I didn't think that I would have to do, but they keep piling it on. Oh crap. They just keep piling it on, just like the Queen and Bishop. Jesus. This is what I get for trying to play chess. You're going pro at 948 subs? What? Oh, you're at 52. That's still a lot of subs. It's a lot of subs. Jeez. Awesome. Congratulations. Yeah, I don't have anywhere near that success. you know, like I have, it just sucks. Like, you know, I have to like settle for applying for permanent disability to try to get through life. And even that is not going to really change my life too much. It's going to give me an income, and you know, then I still have to get on a lottery to get eligible for a housing voucher, to get on housing that is subsidized, because where I live, $900 or $1,000 a month does not pay for rent anywhere, even just a room. Nice. I'm really happy that you've been so successful, Strider. It's so hard to become a successful streamer, and my opponent left the game? Am I gonna have a technical victory? Jeez. It's just so frustrating that life has to be so... I'm gonna claim the victory, why not? A win is a win is a win. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a grind, but it's just like, I think for me, I have a bunch of different challenges I have to face. And for me, I think grinding alone, because you know, the first year that I streamed, I grinded like 4 to 8 hours a day and had like zero progress. So my fight is a different fight. Like I have to convince people that I'm worth listening to, and it's like, I don't know. I don't know what I need to do. I've been trying to fight for myself on Twitter, on TikTok, and all that kind of stuff, and it's just like I'm still like silent. Like it just feels like people are actively silencing me, is what it feels like. I know it's kind of a ridiculous thing to say, but like, but it just feels like people are actively trying to silence me. Yeah, stream and work at Costco. Well, you know, that's what you're doing right now. Everybody's trying to survive right now during COVID, and you know, I'm really, you know, like, I'm not saying it's perfect, and you probably have your bad days and stuff like that, but you know, from where I'm sitting, like you're in a very comfortable spot. I think like you have a full-time, you have a job, you know, you have a stable living situation. I have a stable living situation, but it's not perfect, and it, you know, it's actually like not ideal at all. Like it's not helpful. It's extremely damaging to my mental health, and you know, it's just, there's not much I can do about it right now. I'm trying to apply for SSI, and then we can apply for a lottery to get on subsidized housing. It just feels so impossible to make my life better. Like, no matter how hard I try, the world is against me, and I can't even play chess well, and that's the thing that I focus most of my time on. And it's kind of demoralizing when you spend so much time on something and you can't even get success on that. But I mean, like, the alternative is giving up, and I can't do that. There's never been an option to give up. And, you know, it's as painful as it is, this is the reality I have to live in. It's just, I wish it didn't have to be this way. You know, I wish I could just magically, you know, become a successful, famous streamer. But that's not the reality, and it might never be. But I mean, I can work towards it. At least while I'm, you know, like, getting SSI. I don't want to just collect, you know, permanent disability my whole life. And I can try to build something more, even though it's kind of a futile effort. At least it's something. And who knows, maybe like I keep showing up and I keep fighting, maybe something will happen. Just on that merit alone. Maybe people will start seeing me and respecting me for my effort. Even though I'm not the best chess player. I am trying to get better at chess. I'm doing my tactics, like, regularly, like, trying to do them daily again. I already did my tactics today. Collects lifelong disability, slinks into his quiet corner. Yeah, and you know, like that's basically where I am. Like, I'm trying to get to that. I don't even have that yet, so it's like you're already a step ahead of me. But you know, my doctors keep reminding me that, like, you know, just because I'm going to be collecting disability doesn't mean that that has to be my reality for the rest of my life. And I can continue to try to build something here on Twitch. And what I don't know what that's going to look like, but I could at least try. It's just, I wish I could get more out of life. Like there's just so many things I'm missing out on. I mean, yeah, COVID is a lot of that. 'Cause like, I literally, oops. Oh. I was like, it's not my turn. Like, I literally can't spend time with my friends. Like, we can't go out and, like, just have fun, like, right now. Like, until COVID is settled and vaccines have been given and the go-ahead has been, you know, all the COVID cases, like, I don't know when we're gonna get a handle of this. So discouraging. Maybe I should have taken the night. Now I don't think I want to take it. At least not yet. And it just sucks because I'm not a very strong chess player too. So if I was like a master or like, you know, even an expert level, I was like 2,000 plus rated, I'd at least have a chance trying to get people's respect here on Twitch. But like, even that's not a guarantee. It's really hard. I just wish that things could work out better in my life. But I'm gonna keep fighting. Because there's no guarantee, and nobody is required to help me. I don't even know if anybody can help me. Because it's not even sure whether or not trying to help people grow on social media is even very effective. So even if somebody had thousands and thousands of followers, like, and tried to help me, there's no guarantee that that would even work. So it's something that, like, nobody understands how to do. If people understood how to do it, people would do it more. Like, oof. Okay, let's get that there and then... Okay. I'm liking where this is going with the clock. Oops. Well, now I don't like it. I'm playing badly. Ah! Just like making mistake after mistake after mistake. Nice. I'm just gonna get rid of that pawn. I don't want any promotions happening. Okay. There we go. COVID experience has been odd for me. Oh, so you're stuck at home? Can't go out around humans? Can't work? Welcome to my life. Yeah, exactly. That's how my life was like before COVID. Like, I was like, oh, well, I don't know if I'm gonna take the trash out today, even though the trash is being picked up today. Oh, I don't know if I'm gonna do the dishes today. I fixed the dishes problem. So now, instead of letting dishes pile up and getting worse and worse and worse, kind of like my depression, I just do the dishes as soon as I'm done with them. So I did the dishes after like 4 months of not doing them. It took me 4 months to do the dishes. And then I did the dishes, and then now, since then, for like the past like couple of months, every single time I'm done with the dish, I wash it and put it back in the drainer. And so I fixed that problem finally after an entire life. I'm almost 33 years old. It's taken me that long to figure out the dishes. I still don't brush my teeth every day. It sucks because I have terrible teeth and terrible gums. I have a water flosser, and I brush my teeth, but had a shower and put on clean clothes. Yeah, that is actually a huge victory. I almost never get out of bed. I just stay in bed and look on my phone, because if I don't do that, I'm just in bed feeling shitty about myself. And it sucks when people are like, oh, if you're depressed, stop using social media. It's like, okay, like, that's easy for you to say. Like, when you have nothing else in your life except for your phone or your computer, when that's your only access to society, because otherwise you're just isolated and you're just in your bed and you're depressed. And as depressing and as shitty as life on the internet is, it's better than the alternative. And it just sucks. Sucks that all we have is this extremely toxic, depressing place on the internet where it's just, we have this endless cycle of like toxic behavior. And that's our life. like it's just ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. How have I been streaming for 3 hours? I barely played any chess. Have you noticed that? like played barely any chess, you guys. And yet here we are. I'm about ready to end the stream. I really enjoy my time with you. And I really do think that, you know, I like rating people. Hopefully you can stick around and show some love. I like finding new streamers sometimes, or somebody that I already know, that I want to support. Let's see. I think I have an idea who we're gonna raid. Yeah, let's go check out let's go watch him on. I like the chest bras. Pretty cool. They're a little bit crude, just like kind of like a men's locker room sometimes, but at least they're like a wholesome locker room. No, so it might be contradictory to some people, but like honestly, compared to most like, you know, kind of like manly spaces, the chest bras are pretty good. So anyway, it was good talking to you, getting to know you. Glad you popped into Megan's chat. Oh, so you're from Megan's chat. Yeah, I had a lot of fun playing against Megan, and I hope that I can play her more chess as time goes on. I have a really hard time with Blitz, and especially as I'm streaming. This is why I need to get back into a normal stream schedule, because I'm so out of habit, like of like being able to like chat and stream at the same time. So anyway, have fun over at the Chess Bros stream. Amon's pretty good. He was commentating on the I Am Not a GM match between Alexandra Botez and Greg Shahadi earlier, but like now he's just doing his normal stream, and it's pretty chill over there, and they have pretty good music. And Amon's streaming right now. He's pretty cool. Give him your support. Bye.